Hello, welcome back to UFO news for April and May 2024. Yes, we are back, and today we have like 10 topics which we have picked out, which are, as I think, the most important for this month. So we are going forward. There are more disclosure and more people coming forward, and people are starting to talk about UFO and extraterrestrials openly, and yeah, it's becoming a more normal thing, And there's also a lot of speculations, analyzing, and we humans are, speculative people and expert analyzers. So that's just how it is. And today's topics are as follows. Number 1, the Book of Light. Number 2, the SALT Conference. Interview with Colonel Karl Nell about extraterrestrials.
Here's the million-dollar question. Do you believe that a higher form of non-human intelligence has visited this planet?
Right. So non-human intelligence exists. Non-human intelligence has been interacting with humanity. This interaction is not new, and it's been ongoing. And there are unelected people in the government that are aware of that.
And so, Karl, that is quite a bold statement. I'm wondering, and I'm curious, how confident are you that that is true?
There's zero doubt.
And Karl, what evidence have you seen? What was the moment where you developed this level of conviction? Because what you're saying is extremely consequential and very important, and I know that a lot of people here even perhaps may not believe that statement.
Right. Well, probably a better way to ask that is, how can the folks in the audience come to a common understanding of what this phenomenon is? And so there's sort of two tracks here. One is from first principles, and another is actually from the data. So let's take a look at the data. So we can look at some folks that have very high level access to information, like Paul Hellyer, who is the defense chief for Canada, has come out and said the same thing. We can look at Ham Eshed, the head of Israel's, or former head of Israel's Space Force, has said the same thing. Chris Mellon, Deputy Assistant Secretary for Intel, SAPCO, has essentially said the same thing. Lou Elizondo has said the same thing. David Grush has said the same thing. David Grush cleared for presidentially level material. So you're looking at people that are in a position to know this, and they're telling you the same thing. You could take a look at the Gang of Eight in the Senate and in Congress. So there's two members of the Gang of Eight, Marco Rubio and Senator Chuck Schumer, that signed up to the UAP disclosure amendment last year that basically said they're not being told the truth, and we need to push forward on that. So that's sort of an overview of some of the data. From a first principles standpoint, what's so unusual about this realization? There's billions of stars in the galaxy. Life here evolved in 500 million years, which is basically a blink of an eye. We've found planets around every star that we've looked at. It's likely that the universe is full of life. If you look at the SETI program in particular, the SETI program has all the same assumptions that you would accept and probably make with respect to this topic, except that they believe that non-human intelligence is transmitting signals here. But at the same time, like, we're not transmitting signals. SETI doesn't transmit signals, and the only signals that are actually broadcast of high enough power into space for somebody to pick up come from broadcast television and ballistic missile early warning systems, which you could argue our technology is moving away from. We're going to satellite, we're going to fiber. Broadcast TV is a thing of the past. And if you get to some state where society is stable, maybe we don't need ballistic missile early warning system. So the other guy is probably not going to transmit. But what the other guy may do is come here if that's possible to do. And there's physics models that suggest that may be possible.
Number 3, Stephen Greenstreet's interview with Sean Kirkpatrick. And here we have the opposite, which they claim there is no evidence of extraterrestrials.
I'm going to jump right into a series of simple yes or no questions. Just yes or no. While preparing the Arrow report, did you have access to everything you needed, including classified programs and top secret information?
Absolutely, yes.
Were you ever denied access to anything while preparing this report?
No.
Did you have Title 10 and Title 50 authorities?
Yes.
Title 10 and Title 50 authorities are, to put it simply, permissions you need in order to access certain secret government information. Title 10 gets you access to some secret stuff. Title 50 gets you access to even more secret stuff. So with access to all the top secret information he needed, did Kirkpatrick find any evidence of aliens? Did you find any evidence of alien or non-human technology?
No.
Did you find any evidence of alien bodies or the bodies of non-human intelligence?
No.
No evidence of aliens? But what about the hundreds of media stories from the last 6 years, full of claims about aliens on Earth and otherworldly craft? Well, Kirkpatrick's Arrow report conclusively states that most, if not all, of those stories are sourced to the same exact group of UFO activists. Based on your research, can many of the UFO claims from the last 6 years be traced back to the same exact core group of UFO true believers?
As we've put into the report, you'll find a section of where a number of these people worked together over the last couple of decades. The story seems to all point back to them.
Due to various legal reasons, Kirkpatrick is prohibited from specifically naming the names of the people in this group. But my previous reporting at the Post has revealed, in detail, their names, faces, and stories. Links to this reporting are in the description below. Some of the people in this group were behind the creation and promotion of a 2017 front-page New York Times story about a secret Pentagon UFO program called ATIP. In many ways, the UFO hysteria of the last 6 years began with this one New York Times article. But Kirkpatrick and Arrow officially concluded the main details in that article were not accurate. In 2017, the New York Times reported that the Pentagon had an official UFO program called ATIP, and it was led by a Pentagon official named Lou Elizondo. Is that accurate?
No.
Was ATIP an official Pentagon UFO program?
No.
Kirkpatrick's Arrow report validates and supports my previous reporting at the Post, which revealed that the New York Times UFO article was false and intentionally deceptive. The Times article was co-written by a UFO activist who used as their sources for the article other activists in the same group. The Arrow report states that many in this group were a part of OSAP, a 2008 Pentagon aerospace technology program that went off the rails when program contractors misappropriated taxpayer funds to hunt UFOs, ghosts, and monsters at Skinwalker Ranch.
Number 4, the Tim Burchett interview. The Congress are still working on the UAP phenomena and the UFOs and trying to find out what's going on.
Burchett, thanks for being back with us here on the Hill. Appreciate it. Tell us why you decided to do this. Why do you feel this is needed?
Well, I guess I'm the unelected chair. I think it's needed because you just showed the Tic Tac video taken by one of our very brave pilots. And I had one of those pilots not very long ago tell me one of these objects was 14 feet away from his canopy as he was flying. yet our federal government, many departments tell us they don't exist, yet they're still being funded tens of millions of dollars. They issue redacted reports about UFOs. And our own Pentagon, who has not passed an audit in the history of audits, literally has cannot account for over $500 billion. Now we're spending this money on something. We're $35 trillion in debt. We had every 100 days we had another $1 trillion to our deficit. Look, it's not about little green men or flying saucers. It's what are we spending this dadgum money on? It's ridiculous.
What do you think?
Go into well, I think there's some members that know some things. I think that's a bunch of balloons right there. But the one prior, the Tic Tac video, if you could hear the audio of the pilots who were chasing it, I think you would think something else. And we have too many reports from too many qualified people, former admirals telling me something's under the water going 200 miles an hour, big as a football field. You know, it's too much. Just tell us what it is. We don't care. It's not going to upset my religious beliefs. I'm still going to believe Jesus died on the cross for me. It's not going to change one bit. All it's going to say is this universe is a lot bigger than we give it credit for. We're one grain of sand on a million beaches. Give us the information. Let us decide.
So you know how Washington.
Number 5, Stephen Greer's Disclosure Project, releasing the files, the Disclosure Project Intelligence Archive, DPIA.
Along with Dr. Stephen Greer, founder of the Disclosure Project, and his new mission, dropping a massive amount of data. Let me tell you, the DPIA, the Disclosure Project Intelligence Archive, is massive, and it's going to be on a website. 33 years of work, and you're about to see it. The world's going to see it, and they're going to be rocked. Dr. Greer, thanks for joining us.
Thanks. It's good to see you. And yeah, so the Disclosure Project Intelligence Archive, let me give you a little background, everyone, on this. About 3 years ago, I was asked by the senior investigators for the Senate Intelligence Committee to help them get to the bottom of this. And at that time, the idea is that they were going to be able to get funding in place to do a very large investigation on this, where I would have worked embedded with that contractor to get all the terabytes of data and information I have into the hands of the intelligence community, but they never were able to move that forward for funding. So what I started doing about a little over 2 years ago, well, 2.5, was to begin to digitize everything we have and everything that's in other archives in a massive project. So it's been 34 years in the making. You'll see things from 1990 all the way to very current. And they're organized in, there'll be 14 categories. So that site is live right now. So it's dpiarchive.com. And it has, I believe, 112 top secret military, corporate intelligence, whistleblowers testimony in it, unmasked with their names. It has a
Number 6, James Webb News, 3 pictures. Number 7, Oldies But Goldies, 10 pictures. Number 8, UFO history. Today it's the Rendelsham forest incidents in 1980. We're just having a small documentary or review about it. Number 9, 5 UFO videos. There's a lot more happening, you know, but I can't take them all, you know. It's just crazy how many UFO videos there are out there now. It's just... The next thing is that they land, I guess, so you can film them while they are on the ground.
Видишь, НЛО летит. Сегодня 21 июля 2017 года. Здесь, в Украине, в городе Черновцы, я наблюдаю НЛО. Он такой красноватого цвета, между прочим.
Number 10 is a channeling with the Andromedan concept of light. I guess it's on Alexandra. Welcome back. We're doing a little bit of a clearance here. There is so much going on now on your planet. It's kind of a whirlpool starting all over the place and mixing and stirring things around. Things coming to the surface which you have to work on and deal with. But there is positive progress, and there is also a unity happening among your people with both technology and with your spiritual conscious, which are merging and adapting to these new higher energies coming down to your earth. But it's also stirring up a lot of things, and you also have to deal with some of your earthly problems now, which are starting to merge, and also some of your human conditions, which is starting to merge from different use of cogitations and frequencies. So you are in the thick of it, you could say. So you have to start now to think more constructive and positive and unite your people under one banner, you can say. That's the best you can do, but not with war, with love. And that you start with approaching people, talking with them, don't be judge active or use judgment, but try to see the people around you as humans, and that they have their tasks to go through, and kind of accept instead of judge and destroy. So you're all on earth, you're all in the same boat. The more you can forgive, the more you can give, the more you can accept, but of course with an open heart and with a little bit of careful approach, of course, in some cases. Usually most people have more positive to offer society than negative. There are, of course, some types which are different. There are some exceptions, of course. That is in all societies, more or less. We usually don't have these anymore because we have come to a sixth density solution for our consciousness and our society, which you also will approach in the future. But you are now starting to approach the thoughts that unity and love is the most important, and that maybe peace can be seen as a solution to most things, and as your technology binds you more together and makes the world more accessible and smaller, and also the technology is more advanced, there is faster response times and faster travel. There is also, of course, the need for a faster approach to a more loving society, a more responsible society, as we also found out in our ways. And most societies will find this out in their own time, you can say. But you are kind of a little bit past your time, so you have to quicken your positive decisions, you could say. But remember that you all are going through things, you all have something to work on, and do not see that with judgment and anger, but try to approach it with love and understanding. If you can do this, there will be better situations on the planet, and also try to be more healing and more sharing with your abundance, if you have that abundance, that you can share more of your wealth with others. I will see that giving will give so much back to you. Giving and open your heart will give so much back from other people. Hating and ego will only create barriers and thicken things up and create more fracturalization of your society. Remember that uniting will create more strength and more opportunities for humanity. And if you all can join in, your 8 billion people, in on creating something amazing for Earth, for your race, for love, there is no limits to where you can go, what you can achieve. But you can only achieve that with an open heart and love in the end. That's what we want to say today. We hope your life is good and you are happy and that you are achieving your dreams and that you are every day giving a little bit of your heart to others. It will create a better day for yourself and people around you. Thank you very much, and much love to you all from the Andromedan Council of Light. We are with you all the time. Much love.